Welcome to Live Life with Sean. I'm your host, Sean Higgins. I'm a lifelong information security technology expert with a passion for speaking, coaching, and writing. In this podcast, I'm going to introduce a question and give you my thoughts on that question. I hope that question and my thoughts will get you thinking about your answers. At the end of every episode, I will offer you a tool to help you work through what might be coming up for you. This show is recorded live, and you are invited to add your questions to the discussion. If I don't get to your questions during the show, I will do my best to answer them on my blog or on a future show. If you enjoy this content, please share it, subscribe to it, like it, and or leave a comment or question, as this will help others find this podcast. Thank you for joining me. And tonight, in honor of the U.S. Thanksgiving, because I am an American, even though I am living in Canada, I wanted to talk about what are you thankful for? I would hope that, people getting together on Thanksgiving is more about being thankful. I remember growing up when I was much younger, it was a time for the family to get together, all gather, all have fun together. It was lots of fun, lots of laughter, a little bit of sports in there, because we're an active family, but it was always fun. And, I miss those days. I don't miss those days because now it's just different. I miss, getting together as a young person with that family, but now I get together with my family. It's a little bit different, but it's still very good. And I look forward to it. But I also hope that people, when they're getting together for Thanksgiving, they really take the time to be thankful, to have a little bit of thankfulness or gratefulness about what is going on for them. And it doesn't have to be just on Thanksgiving, it can be at any time. You know, I know for myself, it's very easy to beat up on myself. I make a little mistake and I, beat myself up, beat myself up, beat myself up, and I continue to do it. And having a practice of gratefulness or taking time to be thankful just helps me step back from that, helps me start to just, okay, it's okay. I made a mistake. And, so when those times happen, I do take a step back and I do count my blessings and I start to feel the love there is in the world for me and the love that I have for certain things in my life. I know that at times it is hard for people to be thankful. And, there are times when I want to say, I don't want to be thankful. I just want to sit in the muck of, my self pity. Um, but if, you're taking the time to be thankful and you can't think of anything to be thankful for, just take a moment and take a nice, deep, slow breath and just appreciate that breath. You can do that right here. Let's do that together. Let's everybody take a nice big deep breath in. Just feel it start to fill your lungs. Feel it start to expand your chest. Feel it. Let it go. Feel that shift in your body, even just for that moment. Just feel that shift. Take another deep breath in. Let it out. You feel some of those worries that you had for today, some of that, maybe that beating of yourself up, just kind of slightly let itself go. Let's just do one more. Take that deep breath in. Really feel your chest. Feel your back straighten up as you really fill that chest up. Then let it out. And as you're letting it out, just feel some of that tension just walk away. I find when I'm doing that breathing, I can open up a little bit of space, a little bit of space between my thoughts and worries. and a little bit of peace. And now let's just take a moment, because it is Thanksgiving, and just take a moment and think about what you are thankful for in this moment. And if it's just a breath, that's fine. Maybe take out a piece of paper, put it in front of yourself, and start writing down some of the things that you're thankful for. It could be as simple as, yes, that breath. Thankful for the chair you're sitting in. Okay, start small. Thankful for whatever you're listening to me on. Just can be start with little things. Start thinking about some of the people in your life that have been good to you, that you may not have thanked very often. Just write them down. Do you have any pets? If you have a dog, when was the last time you were thankful for that dog? Even though that dog just, every time you walk in the house, just loves you to death. You have any other pets? Cats. Yeah, I know cats can be finicky, but also they can surprise you. Think of a moment when your cat surprised you. Maybe she jumped up on your lap and just started purring right away. Yeah, and then the next moment she was gone, but just be thankful for that moment. And let's just sit with that thought of thankfulness right now. And if you can't think of anything, just breathe and close your eyes. Just appreciate that breath coming in and out. There you go. Good job. Or, if you're still writing down things you're thankful for, good for you. Take a look at your list. Look at all those things you're thankful for. And now feel that love flowing between you and those things on your list. Feel that love flowing. How's that feel for you? Yeah? Does that feel good? Good. Just sit with that for a moment. Just feel all those things you're thankful for. As I was preparing for tonight's show, thankfulness was the easy thing that popped into my mind because it's Thanksgiving. But the other thing that kind of attached itself to the thankfulness was forgiveness. Not really sure how they're related, but they just seem to stick together in everything that I was thinking about for this show. I'd sit there and think about what I was thankful for and how I could talk about thankfulness, and then forgiveness would just kind of sneak up and say, okay, what do you need to forgive? And, I think, if you think about situations where somebody has wronged you, think about that for a moment. How do you feel? And I know there are a lot of times that I am just angry at that person who did something wrong to me. And that anger can just fester. Oh, man. It can really grind and not make you feel good. And oh, man. And it's baggage. You got to hold on to it. Now, a lot of people out there, cannot get past that forgiveness is not making the action right. Okay? Forgiveness is about letting go of that anger you're holding on to and allowing you to just love or send love to that person. Okay? You have to think about that for a moment because what you're doing is you're separating the person from the action. You're not making the action right. All you're doing is letting go of your anger that you have towards that person. And when you do forgive that person, what it does is it frees up your ability to love on them, to love that person. And I believe that, if you show somebody love, whether you're physically showing them the love, by your interaction with them, or you're sitting here now and just thinking about them sending love, you're making a difference to that person. And I think we don't give people enough love. I think we try and reserve it for those special people in our lives when why not just love everybody? I mean, that's what Jesus told us to do. He said, love everyone. And forgiveness can be subtle. You know, I had a situation where I had a boss that I just resented him. I just really he rubbed me the wrong way. And every time he came and asked me to do something, man, the hairs on my neck stood up. I could feel that edge build, just like, oh my God, what's he going to ask me now? What am I going to have to do? It just felt awful. And I was even considering leaving, this company because of that. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she says, it sounds like you need to forgive your boss. Like, forgive him? Why do I need to forgive him? And she said, well, first off, sit with that. Sit with that thought. First off, I'm a recovering people pleaser. Okay. It's still a work in progress. And whenever my boss would come to me, I would just say yes. And I sat with that for a while. And, you know, first thing that came to me was, well, he's my boss. I have to say yes to him. And I asked myself, why do I have to say yes? Sometimes you say why a couple of times. The second time I said why because I felt I was helping him. He's my boss. He comes to ask me something. He must be asking something important for the company. So I'm helping him. I'm responsible. I asked why again. And I said, well, I felt I was responsible to help him. If he's asking me, I got to pick up whatever he's giving me and just be responsible to deliver that. And I I said, okay, why? Why am I saying yes? And the really thought that came to me was that I needed to say yes to keep my job. And once that thought entered my mind, I could say, oh, now I know why I need to forgive him. Okay. So I sat down and I just forgave him. I just said, I forgive you. And I said it a number of times and I just sat with it and I could feel as I was forgiving him, a shift in the relationship. Okay. And it just felt subtle. It's like, okay, it feels different. But what I noticed over the next several days, when he came to ask me to do something, it felt different. I felt freer. I felt I had the ability to say yes or no to him. as opposed to always just jumping to yes. So think about that for a little bit. Is there some relationship where you've got something going on and you don't even know that you need to forgive that person? Don't know. Think about it. It could be a forgiveness thing that you need to do to release something with that person. I think the easiest level of forgiveness is forgiving others. It's just something easy to do because it's easy to identify when there is an issue that you have with somebody. One thing that I'd like you to consider is, can you forgive yourself? And I know there are some of you out there saying, forgive myself. Why do I need to forgive myself? Step back for a second and do you love yourself? Think about that. There are some of you out there that say, yes, I love myself. Okay. But if you're like me, it's not an answer that I jump to right away. When somebody says, do you love yourself? I have to sit there and think. And I'm not trying to make you right or wrong, but just really sit with that and say, do you love yourself? And, some of the first things that come up to me is, well, but what about this? I did that wrong. I am probably the hardest person on myself. And forgiving myself for all those silly little mistakes can be hard. And I think that if you're able to start breaking away some of those issues, you can start to forgive yourself for those little mistakes. Because you know what? First off, nobody's perfect. Okay. Oh, if you didn't know that before, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break that to you, but nobody is perfect. Because I know it's very easy. It's very easy to look around and compare yourself to somebody else because all you're doing is comparing to that outside version of themselves. Okay. You're looking at somebody and you're saying, "Whew, he's better than I am. He has it all together. I don't." But what you don't know is he's probably doing the same thing where inside him, he's going, "Oh my God, I made this mistake. I made that mistake. Oh, I didn't treat him right. I didn't shake his hand right away. I didn't squeeze it hard enough." What a million god awful things. I know I think about those things all the time. So step back from what you think you see and start looking at those things that you're nitpicking yourself for and just forgive yourself for one or two of them. Just forgive yourself. There's a practice that I do occasionally. It's called Ho'oponopono, and it's three simple phrases. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. And when you really find yourself struggling to let go of those things within you, imagine yourself out in front of you and just say, I am sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. And notice the shift in the connection between you and that image of you. Let's do that a few times. Let's sit there in your chair, okay? And let's look at giving yourself so we can allow the love to flow within you. Allowing that love to flow within you also helps it flow out of you to others. It also allows you to receive more. So let's just sit in your chair, take a breath in, let it out. Take a breath in and just as you let it out, gently close your eyes. Now, I find it's easier when you close your eyes to just shut out the outside world just for a moment. And now imagine yourself out in front of you. Notice what you look like. Notice how you're standing. Notice how you're dressed. And notice what you're saying about yourself that you see in front of you. Oh my God, I didn't comb my hair. Oh my God, I get that shirt on. Oh my God, I didn't shave today. Whatever, just notice that talk. Notice that self talk you have about that image of you right in front of you. Okay? And notice as you're thinking that how you change in front of you. You know, as I'm sitting here looking at myself and I'm saying, "Oh my God, didn't comb my hair," I can see myself slouch over a little bit. Oh my God, I'm wearing that shirt. See myself slouch over a little bit more. And just whatever you're noticing is fine, you know? And I'm sure that this self talk is not good for that image out in front of you. Okay, repeat after me. Just looking yourself in the eyes. I am sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Take a breath in. Now notice, what do you look like in front of you? Are you standing a little straighter? Do you look a little bit better? How is that connection between you and this image of you? Do you feel a shift in the flow of energy between the two of you? Okay. Bring that image of you back into you. Feel the integration of you into you. And let's bring some golden energy from above. Let that come in through the top of your head and help you integrate you into you. Feel it wash over you like a shower. Feel it wash in you as well. Good job. Is there somebody that you would like to forgive right now? So put them out in front of you and just say, I forgive you. And if that person's showing up, you don't even know why you need to forgive them, just say, I forgive you. Notice that connection between you and that person in front of you. Feel it shift just by saying, I forgive you. Feel that love flowing between you and them. Good. Take a breath in. Let it out. Take a deep breath in. And as you let it out, gently open your eyes. Do you feel a little bit more thankful about today? I hope that those of you in the United States that have been celebrating Thanksgiving have taken that time to be thankful for whatever it is you want to be thankful for in your life. Have taken that time to get those juices flowing, counting your blessings. I hope that all of you have a safe and happy holiday in the U.S. And I thank you for joining me on Live Life with Sean. If you'd like to book a free coaching session with me, please find Connect with Sean link on my website at seanchiggins.com. If you enjoyed this show, please share it, subscribe to it, like it, and or leave a comment, as this helps others find this podcast. And until next time, have a wonderful and thankful week.